Hi friends, this is Kruti Pancholi, Assistant Professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. So this video is about subject Microwave Engineering. So in this video, we are going to learn about the few concepts that is related to the modern trends in the microwave engineering. So friends, in the last video, we learned about the various microwave trends like the ILS system that we learned, okay, then what is the microwave heating, so everything that we learned in the last video. Now, in today's video, we are going to learn about the important topic that is related to the microwave engineering. It is about the electromagnetic interference and electromagnetic compatibility. So now, very first of all, as we know that when the current carrying conductor induces the voltage, there exists the electromagnetic signal. What is the electromagnetics? Electromagnetics, that's a branch of the physics or the electrical engineering in which electric and magnetic phenomena that are to be studied. Now, the electromagnetic interference. In this diagram, you can see that the variety of the sources are there and how the signal that can be there, okay, between the two particular devices. So, the electromagnetic interference, that is also known as the radio frequency interference. So when in the radio frequency spectrum there is a disturbance by some external source, then due to that it affects the electric circuit by the electromagnetic induction, electrostatic coupling or the conduction. So such kind of the electromagnetic interference that manifests itself as a noise. So we are treating this particular part as a noise in the microwave transmission. What is the electromagnetic signal? Here in the diagram you can see that the electric as well as the magnetic waves are there, and how the electric and magnetic waves they are traveling as, and we know that they are perpendicular to both, okay, so perpendicular to each other. So this way the electromagnetic signal that travels into the space. What is the definition of the EMI? So it is the degradation in the performance of any circuit or device due to the field making up the electromagnetic environment. Also, it is, look at here that, okay, here there are the number of towers, okay, you can see over here. Now there is a devices, okay, there are the object, they are moving, okay, around the particular the devices. Now what happened? They are not directly connected, but these all the waves, okay, they may interfere this all the communication. So sometimes it may result into the loss of the information also. So this is the diagram which explains us regarding the electromagnetic interference. Now when the electromagnetic interference, okay, in the television, okay, so you may see the picture that is like this. Here you can see that there is the tower, okay, the transmitter as well as the receiver. There are the high power lines are there, okay. So then the mobile radios are there, okay. Due to that ignition, okay, there could be the interference. Some electric motors, okay, they are running. Due to that, the noise that can be arrived, okay. So while the particular receiver will receive the signal, then it may receive the signal with some interference, and due to that interference we may have the results in the television. It could be like this, okay. The classification of the EMI according to the base of the operation, the classification of the EMI that is into the two categories. One is known as the radiated interference and another one is referred to as a conducted interference. Radiated interference, it is again classified into the two categories. One is the narrow band and another one that is the broad band. Okay, now what is the radiated interference? Now here in the diagram you can see that how the two devices they are connected with the wire, okay, and due to radiation emission, the interference that may be there, okay, and this is something the noisy component, okay, and due to that some interference can be received. Now it is radiated interference. It is classified into the two categories. One is the narrow band interference. What is the narrow band interference? It usually arises from the intentional transmission, such as the radio and the television stations, pager transmitter, cell phone, etc. And it is the high frequency operation. The other one, that is a broadband interference. What is a broadband interference? So the broadband interference that comes from the incidental radio frequency emitters, and this includes the electric power, transmission lines, electric motors, etc. Okay, so it's a low frequency operation. So the narrow band, high frequency, and broadband, it's a low frequency operation. And the example for it, that's a skin effect. Okay, now the other category of based on the operation, that is the conducted interference. What does the meaning of the conducted interference? The conducted interference means while they are not connected, okay, through the wire, and but due to the conducted emission, okay, the interference that may be arise, okay, so it is referred to as a conducted interference. So it is caused by the physical contact of the conductor, okay, as opposed to radiated EMI, and which is caused by the induction, mean without the physical contact of the conductor. Okay, so the conducted interference, again it causes the electromagnetic disturbance in the electromagnetic field of a conductor, okay, and it is no longer be confined to the surface of the conductor and will radiate from it. Okay, so it is about the conducted interference. Now this persists in all the conductors and the mutual conductance between the two radiated electromagnetic field, and this will result into the EMI. Okay, so what is the difference between the conducted and the radiated interference? So now here in the diagram you can see that there is a transmitter, there is a receiver. The radiated interference means while the particular wave which will be radiated from the devices, okay, so due to that the radiated interference, okay. Now these devices they are connected, okay, so due to that conductor, the conductor interference. So here you can see that there is a power cable, okay, fine. So through this power cable line they are connected with this, okay, through to this power lines, okay, they may connected with the transmitter. So due to that the conducted interference, okay, that results into the electromagnetic interference. So this way we have the electromagnetic interference, okay, during the communication. Now what are the sources of the EMI? Now the EMI that is classified into the two categories. One is known as the natural source of the EMI. For example, there is a lightning, okay, so that due to that lightning, okay, the electromagnetic interference that we have also you learn in the chapter of the noise, that how the noise that can be occur, okay, the man-made sources of the noise, okay, of the EMI. So again you know that the commercial radio and the telephone communications, okay, that results into the electromagnetic interference, okay. Now in specific it is classified as the functional EMI. This functional EMI that can originate from any of the source, okay, that is designated to generate the electromagnetic energy and which may create the interference as a normal part of the operation. Another one, that is the incidental EMI. Incidental EMI, that is the man-made sources. Okay, and it is not designed specifically to generate the electromagnetic energy, but which do in fact cause the interference. Okay, so this way the another one, that is the natural EMI. This natural EMI, that is the natural phenomenon like the electrical storms, rain particles, then the solar and the interstellar radiation. Okay, so this all are the sources, okay, by which we have the electromagnetic interference. Okay, so lightning hitting the buildings. Okay, so this way the electromagnetic interference, okay, that can be arise. Okay, there is a building 1, there is a building 2. Okay, now you know that there is a grounding conductor. Okay, now it is connected with the pole. Okay, so now if there is some problem, some lightning, some rain particles, so through that particular pole, okay, it comes to this and may affect, okay, to the particular building. Okay, lightning hitting a tree. Okay, you know that the person is standing over here, there is a nearby tree. Okay, then what happened, that if such kind of the lightning would be there, okay, then due to that the person may be affected. Okay, one at this thing. Okay, so this is about the EMI, how it affects. Okay, so now the EMI control techniques. Now to control or suppress EMI, the 3 common means employed in the design process. That are, how to protect from the EMI. First thing, that is the shielding is required. Okay, so by shielding, then the grounding the particular contact and the filtering. So these 3 are the particular ways, okay, by which we can protect our electronic circuit or any devices, okay, from the electromagnetic interference. Okay, so it is about the electromagnetic interference, how we can suppress. Now the effect of the EMI on the system performance. So the important thing in the last, that is how it affect the performances. So very first, that is, as I said, that is its loss of the information in the various communication channel. Another one, that is the reception of the various receivers such as the television as well as the radio reception. Another one, that is the malfunctioning of the railway signals and many more. Okay, and other is the human body that can be affected by such kind of the electromagnetic interference. So these way the variety of the manners, okay, it may affect onto the human body as well as the system. Okay, now the thing is, in the absence of the EMI, okay, in the system, or the ability of the system to sustain against the EMI, okay, it is known as the electromagnetic compatibility. Okay, so if the system that is ready to fight against the EMI, we can say that it is the electromagnetic compatibility. So electromagnetic compatibility, that is the ability of the electrical or electronic equipment or the systems to function in the intended operations. Okay. Also we can say that it may cause improve the particular performance, okay, without the degradation of the particular system. Okay, so the goal of the electromagnetic compatibility, that is whatever the operation, okay, that was failed. So now if you want to correct the operation of the particular circuit, okay, in the same electromagnetic environment of the different equipment, okay, which is used for the electromagnetic phenomena and avoidance of the interference effect. Okay, so a system which is said to be electromagnetic compatible, this is the important condition, if it does not cause any interference with other system. Okay, so another one is it is not susceptible to emissions from the other system. Okay, and it does not cause the interference with itself. Okay, and the other system, that is, it would not provide any kind of the noise onto the current working system. So this way, this all are the things that is related to the electromagnetic interference and the electromagnetic compatibility. Okay, so thank you very much everyone.